All right, you guys, we're going to talk about divorces. A connection built on secret and lies. Will they sustain? We're going to talk about Tiffany and Javon. Now, this picture is credited to Princess. Thank you so much, Princess, for letting me use your picture. Of course. Princess has a group on Facebook called Tyler Perry Divorce Sisters, and she and I have known each other for a couple years from Facebook, and she's a sweetheart. And of course, she makes these little these pictures, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta use this. Can I use this? She's like, yeah. And she said she's a sweetheart. So if you haven't already joined her group, no sorrow, no BS though. Okay, let's talk about Tiffany and Javon. So Tiffany meets Javon the first episode, and William hooks them up. And Geneva is pissed at the table. Pissed. When I mean pissed. Because her and Javon, back 5 or 6 years ago, did the whoop-de-whoop, whoop, whoop, and whoop, 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 and she fell hard for him. Now, Tiffany is so gone in love with you. Well, not so gone. So in love with you. So in love with you. So in love with you. Anthony Hamilton and Jill Scott song, So in Love with You. I think it's really less because you don't really know Javon, like Geneva said. But I will say this, Geneva, you are a hater because you are married and you want your friend to not be with Javon because you want Javon. All right, let's get into it. So her and Javon, they go on a date. They hooked up a couple times, and she's so in love with him. And I don't know if Javon is really feeling her. I think I'm going to go ahead and say maybe he is. I think he is feeling her. Yeah, I think he is. It's not that he's using her for Geneva. I don't think so either. But I will say this. My heart goes out to Tiffany. And Tiffany is lost in the clouds because her friend Geneva is actually treating her like SHIT. And it's just like, okay, girl. Something has to click in your brain to let you know that, hey, there is something going on. And she is definitely messing with your man. She definitely messed with this man before you messed with him. But Tiffany's so far gone and she's gone off the D. And it's just like, oh my God, Tiffany, baby, please hold my hand. Let me tell you this story. Javon and Geneva bump. And now you are the reason holding her back. But Geneva's holding her own self back because she can just leave William and go be with Javon. But it's not that simple. We all know that. But it's getting heated. She's moving fast with him. Javon was actually invited to go overseas with Geneva and her husband William, and Geneva finds out that Tiffany was invited. She's like, she's not going. And I'm just like, oh my God, Tiffany, you still don't understand. Your friend is acting like a bia, and you don't see what's going on. Your friend really was messing with this man, and she was married, and you're trying to be like, oh, she's and Javon had the nerve to tell her Geneva's jealous of you. Yes, Geneva is, because she's seeing the man that she's in love with, and she's supposed to be married to William, is getting it on with her best friend. And instead of her being a good friend about it and telling her, hey, like, instead of just saying, he is charming and all this other stuff, you should tell him, hey, girl, we messed around. Yeah, I was married to William, but this is what happened. But you're not being a good friend. You're not being a girl's girl. You're being a hater right now, Geneva. Really big time. And in this point, like I said, I'm on Anika's side, the baby side. Because Lord have mercy, Tiffany, I'm just trying to give you smoke signals, trying to tell you, baby, leave that man alone. He ain't worth it. But, Tiffany is recently divorced, and she has to pay alimony to her ex-husband. And he was a bartender, and she is a real estate agent. And of course, Javon is like what every woman has for their checklist. He's tall, he's handsome, he's this, he's that. He's checking all the boxes, but one box that y'all need to see, he's a womanizer. This man is playing you against your best friend. He's telling you all kinds of stuff about your friend. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It looks like what he said is right, but you have to ask these questions. Why do you think my friend is jealous? Why is she jealous of me? If you are supposed to be her friend, you and your husband is supposed to be friends with each other, Javon, why is my friend of X amount of years so mad at me over me dating you? Tiffany, you got to ask yourself these questions. You said, I'm putting 2 and 2 together and I'm gonna make it. And it's just really sad that Tiffany is going through this foolishness with her best friend because of a guy she is sleeping with that she's just met. And I know a lot of people are giving her heat about it, but I will say this, a lot of women sleep with men really, really fast. It happens in today's world. And it happens in every world. I know a lady made a comment saying, well, we didn't do this back in the day. And I'm going to go ahead and say, it was worse back in the day. Like, I could tell you stories I've heard. I am 33 years old, and I've heard a lot of stories about back in the day from people that from my mom's siblings, from my grandmother when she was alive. It's so many stories I've heard. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They were bad back then too. And this is 2026, and it gets even worse now. It was worse back then, and it's still worse now. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Females have been trifling. Men have been trifling. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, I don't want to hear, oh, we went back this back then day. Yeah, let's go down the rabbit hole right quick. Let's not point fingers on this new generation, because it happened back then too, but we didn't have social media. Because if we had social media back in the day, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, a lot of people's careers would be ended like they try to end careers now. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it, no one can cancel nobody but God. But let's get back into Tiffany and Javon. What is gonna happen? So, do you think that do you think that Tiffany is still going to deal with Javon? People think that she's going to get pregnant because her and Javon did the do and they didn't use protection the first time. So I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you. What are we going to do? Y'all, I'm just ready to see what's going to happen on Divorces. A connection built on secret and lies. Will they sustain Tiffany and Javon? What was his motive? What I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I know he's a man, so I know, like, but why did you sleep with Tiffany? Do you secretly want her, or do you just want revenge? I don't even know, y'all, but it's just wrecking my brain, because it's just like, okay, Tiffany, like, what more can I say? But if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. What do you think is gonna happen between Tiffany and Javon? Do you think that they will be together, or will she break it off, or what? Do you think Tiffany and Geneva will be still friends, or do you think that Tiffany will have anything to do with the ladies anymore after? Because, you know, of course, Geneva and Rashida know about her sleeping with Javon, but Bridget nor Naomi know. But Naomi's in her own little fiasco, and it's just like, okay, what's gonna happen right there? But Tiffany and Javon, my heart goes out to Tiffany for being dumb. It's just like, okay, girl, I understand. She has never had, like, nobody to really love her and, like, really be there for her. Because I think her ex-husband was not, like, a good person. I don't know, but, I mean, it wasn't what you call it. But I hope that we get some answers really, really soon. I hope season 2 even gives us answers. I know we have, I don't know how many more episodes we have left in season 1 part B. Because they're splitting them up to season 1A to season 2B. So, I mean, not season 2B, season 1A and season 1B. So, I hope you guys are enjoying Divorce Sisters on Paramount Plus. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss any of my updates. And let me know what you think of Divorce Sisters in the comments. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think we're going to see some action soon, or what we're going to see? But we're definitely going to see some action after last week's episode. But yeah, thank you guys.